Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Layla, and for today's TikTok Tuesday, we're going to be talking about side hustles. I have always loved side hustles. I've also loved hearing about other people's side hustles and them trying like multiple things at once or just in their lifetime and how much money they're making from it. I know that over the last few years, especially while I was paying off my debt and just working on increasing my income, working on building up my business, I consumed so much of that content, whether it was podcasts or blog posts. I love when people are transparent about it and how much they're making from each side hustle. So I figured if anybody watching is trying to make more money or they're just curious about how people are making money from side hustles, the options out there, we're gonna look at all of these. As for myself, I have tried so many side hustles. I can name a few, but there's just no way that I'll be able to remember everything that I've done. Obviously, YouTube and financial coaching turned into, my full-time job, but that started as a side hustle. So I was just putting up like a video per week and eventually I monetized everything and was making a little bit of money on a monthly basis. No sponsorships, no nothing like that. It was just like ad revenue, and that was a little bit of money coming into me, as well as financial coaching. I started that back in 2020. But before that, I've tried to sell jewelry. I've tried making like bath bombs and selling those on Etsy. I've tried digital products, like creating little printable, I actually have it. No, I don't. It's not behind me, but I have them around my office still. It was like things that I designed, little printables that I designed in Canva, and I posted those for sale on Etsy. I've done lots of research studies. That's actually one of my favorite ways to make some extra income. I did one earlier this year, actually. So you go and either like test products or you're part of a research study. I'm not willing to like take any sort of medication or have anything be injected into me, but the ones that I did were non-invasive. They were just like kind of studying behavior. And then the one I did more recently was testing out a tech product. I've had Patreon before where I was talking about personal development stuff, blogging. I still make some money from that, but not that much. But I in the past, I wanted to be a full-time blogger. So that was like a huge focus of mine for the longest time. I tried flipping things on Poshmark or on Facebook Marketplace. There's been a few times where that's been successful, or not like anything major, but some extra income in my life. But at one point I wanted to try and do that, like as a full side hustle, take that full time at one point, but that never panned out. You just like buy stuff from the thrift store, resell it, that type of thing. I used to work at an urgent care, and one of the nurse practitioners would pay me to make her meal prep because I was like huge on meal prep, and she's like, when you make your meal prep, can you just start cooking me three servings and I'll pay you. I think she was paying me like $10 per meal, and I did that. Totally illegal, I suppose, because you need like food licenses and whatnot. But yeah, that was just something I did for a few weeks. That's probably not even half of the things that I've done. I have tried many things just because when I get an idea, I like to try it. I suggest trying something and actually sticking to it, like give it some time, put some effort into it before moving on to the next thing. And I was kind of just all over the place. At this point, since I feel pretty comfortable with money and I have multiple streams of income, including from like extra income, I wouldn't call it side hustling. It's just other ways of me making income. So these days, I don't feel that I am side hustling, but I still love to hear about it. I think it's so cool. So for today's video, I just searched side hustles on TikTok. I have not chosen any videos. I'm going to click through these, and whatever ends up in the video ends up in the video. And I'm only going to choose the ones that are from 2025 so that they're more realistic as to what you could expect from these side hustles today. By the way, thank you so much for being here. I would really appreciate it if you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, because I can see how many people are not subscribed to my channel, and it's kind of large. So if you're watching this and you're not subscribed, please do so. And also, if you have a side hustle that you are actively working on, or you've side hustled that before, then please feel free to share in the comments. But okay, let's get started.
I have got an update for you guys. Hi, my name is Savannah. I'm trying 10 side hustles in the month of May. So you don't have to. We can figure out what's worth it, what's not, and which ones are for the girlies. However, I have not done 10. It is the end of May and I have done like 3. And here's why. So I had DoorDashed one time, and this was something I thought I would continue for the entire month of May. However, I stopped doing that because Pinterest and Fiverr kind of ended up becoming a second job. So on Pinterest, I have now accumulated this much, but that is so amazing. It is going to cover part of my beach trip in the next few weeks, which I am so excited for, that I didn't have to use my 9-to-5 income on it. So definitely go watch my previous 2 videos if you want to know how you can start making money on Pinterest. I'm just a 9-to-5 working mom. I am not some influencer situation, you know what I mean? I'm just a girl who figured out how to make some money online, and it is working. So I wanted to share that. If you want any further details or any questions, please just comment them below so I can reply to them or make a video more in depth about it, because I feel like some people have some questions. That video was a little fast. So if you have any questions, just leave them below and I'll be happy to go more in depth with it. And then also Fiverr. So what has went down at Fiverr? So I have made a total of $465 on Fiverr in the month of May so far, and it will be reoccurring. So I am working with one influencer right now who we're on a reoccurring schedule. I am sending out their pitch to brands in their niche specifically, and they're landing brand deals. Personally, I did a gig for making your brand kit, like all of your pricing, as well as crafting you a personalized email or DM to send to brands. That way you can kind of pitch yourself, as well as also kind of like an account overview, just to see what can be updated. And then also based on what you choose, like 25, 50, 100 email contacts for brands that are working with influencers. So I will go out of my way to go find their contact information either on their social media, on their websites, to provide you those emails so you can pitch directly to them. You don't have to do the hunt. So that is what I've been doing on Fiverr. Yes, I just told you all those secrets. You can do it too. I'm not a gatekeeper. So if you have any questions about that as well, let me know. I'm going to keep these up to keep you posted.
A couple of cool side hustles. It sounds like her third one was DoorDash, and she just did it that one time. With Pinterest, that's actually something I tried in the past. That was one of my side hustles, where you put up like pictures and it's an affiliate link. So affiliate marketing through Pinterest. I did make some money from that, but I never took it far enough to make it anything worth it. I don't know if it's affiliate marketing exactly. That is what she's doing. She said she has a couple of videos up. I will put her TikTok handle on here in case it's Savannah Hensley, in case you want to follow her and check her out. But I love that she is taking some of her skills and freelancing with that. So going to Fiverr, I don't know what she does for her full-time job, but whatever you're doing in your full-time job, you can freelance that. Well, with some limitations. I know that some jobs don't allow you to do that. For example, when I was a Salesforce consultant, I wasn't allowed to do Salesforce consulting as a freelancer while working that job. So because of competition and but you could always learn a different skill and offer that instead. So while I was a Salesforce consultant, I was also offering financial coaching, or as some people would call it, like financial consulting. So that was allowed. I wasn't breaking any rules. How she is working with influencers and content creators is so interesting, what she is doing. Yeah, that's just really fascinating what she just shared of how she's doing that, reaching out to brands so you don't have to do the work, so content creators don't have to do the work, and even putting together like media kits and saying pricing, all that stuff. I'm not going to dive too deep into business stuff here, but with sponsorships, it's a whole different world out there. There's so much opportunity with sponsorships, and the thing is that you shouldn't just say like one set price per company that you would want to work with or who you are pitching to. If anybody's interested, like if you are a content creator and you have a following or you have opportunities to create sponsored content for companies, I highly recommend the book Sponsor Magnet by Justin Moore. So that I'll stop there because I know most people don't do that, but there's a lot of opportunity out there, and it's really cool what she's doing. So awesome.
I'm a workaholic with 10 side hustles, so welcome to the monthly income video where I will show you each job I have and how much I made from each one. Starting with my biggest income stream, it's content creating. I made $6,323, which is unbelievably insane. None of this is possible without you guys. I cannot believe for a minute that this happened to me. I tell myself every day I'm the luckiest guy in the world. And I decided I'm going to start donating some money that I make through social media, so stay tuned for that. My next biggest income stream is that website where I post wholesome content. If you know, you know. If you don't ask. From subscriptions and requests, I made $4,031. She's in the top 5%, baby. Anyways, thanks to everyone who supports me over there. I really appreciate it. Booked my first speaking event. I cannot believe it. I was so nervous, but it was such a cool experience. Dreams really do come true, and I got to meet some budget baddies, which was so cool. I was paid $4,000 for the event. I did not ask for that. That's what they offered, and I was like, sure, let's do it. I am a financial coach in my life off of the phone screen. I work between part-time and full-time right now. I absolutely love being a financial coach, and I made $1,872. I have a CD, which unfortunately is coming to an end next month, and I made $934 off of interest. I'm also a dog sitter, and I booked 2 dog sitting gigs in the month of May, and from that I made $770. Milo is a cutie patootie. I'm also a medical model for a nurse training program to help nurses learn how to collect evidence. I do this twice a year, and I get paid $400 a day. I've been doing this for about 5 years now, and I absolutely love it. I'm also a house cleaner, and she needed me way more than usual. Milo is a cutie patootie. I'm also a medical model for a nurse training program to help nurses learn how to collect evidence. I do this twice a year, and I get paid $400 a day. I've been doing this for about 5 years now, and I absolutely love it. I'm also a house cleaner, and she needed me way more than usual because she's moving. I helped her multiple times throughout the month of May, helping her move out. And in total, I made $190. Doesn't stop there. I'm also a crisis counselor for a hotline. I've been super busy, so I only was able to take 2 shifts, and I made $163 from that. I have an affiliate link with Trusted House Sitters, which is how I was able to stay in this gorgeous house in London, England for free for a week to watch someone's dog named Kit, which was so cool. Thank you to everyone who signs up for free accounts with the link in my bio. I'm also a dancer at a nightclub, but because I've been super busy, I was only able to dance 1 shift. In that 1 shift, I made $144. I also mow lawns because the nicer weather's back. I mowed 2 lawns and I made $90 from doing that. And finally, I am a dumpster diver. I do dumpster dive for bottles and cans, and then I return them for money. Friends and family also hold on to their bottles and cans for me, which is so nice of them. I made $19 from doing that. My total income for the month of May was $19,085, which is absolutely wild. And what may feel out of touch or unrealistic, but I'm just a guy who came from a really bad financial situation trying to improve his life. Literally was making $10 an hour working at Panera Bread 6 years ago. Trust me when I say anything's possible. I love you guys. I'm so grateful for your support.
These are the ones that I love. I love a good workaholic. Obviously, it's not for everybody, and I don't say that you should do that per se, but this is so fascinating. So I actually already follow this guy. His name is Batty.Brad. I'll put his @ on the screen. I would say at this point, his content creation, that income alone could be considered his full-time income. I would probably say, I would have to go back and watch his videos, but he's probably making a full-time living from that, but nothing wrong with going above and beyond. He is doing so much and so many different things. I was not expecting like lawn mowing, and then the medical model. That is so interesting. I'm going to look into that. I am absolutely willing to do something like that as long as nothing gets like injected into me or I have to take medication, as I talked about before. The second one he mentioned, which was his second highest earnings, was OF, OnlyFans, if you don't know. So all the power to you if you want to do that. That is not my style of making money. He also said he was a dancer at a nightclub. Not what I want to do or would recommend, but if that's a way to make money for you, go for it. There were so many in here. Speaking event, that comes from content creation. He talks about, he's like a really frugal guy. Financial coach. So that takes, all of these take some time to build. Dog sitting. This one I wanted to talk about because I don't know if y'all have seen lately. It comes to my YouTube channel as recommended, but births in America are on the decline and not enough people are having children. But what people are doing is getting dogs and cats, you know? And so I think an area that's really going to grow are pet sitting businesses. Dog sitting, pet sitting, dog walking, rover, all of that. People are not having children and they are instead getting pets. Or even people who have children obviously have pets too. But I think this is going to be an industry that's going to grow. And if you're somebody who likes walking dogs, likes petting cats and feeding them, and doesn't mind cleaning the cat box, and having to drive pretty frequently, just because you gotta usually, like, if you're watching a dog, you've got to go and check on them at least twice a day. So if you're okay with being flexible with your time like that, I think that is a great side hustle. And actually, there was a time a few years ago, I used to work at a doggy daycare. I was the bather, and it was was it 2017? No, it was 2015, because I remember I got my car. So 2015, there was a canine influenza outbreak, and literally every single dog that was in our care, this was like during peak season too, like right around 4th of July, every single dog got canine influenza, and everybody had to come pick up their dogs, but we were going into the 4th of July weekend. There was one dog who did not get sick, and that was it, of maybe 100+ dogs at the facility. But I had already been working there for a couple of years, and my boss, the owner of the doggy daycare, she trusted me, along with a few other people who worked there, to personally recommend us as pet sitters for a few people. And I made so much money that month because it was just a week or two of pet sitting. Some people were so used to bringing their dogs to doggy daycare, and so I would just go and spend the day at people's houses. I was pet sitting while they were out of town, and I made several thousand just from a few dogs because they didn't have any other option. And that was great money at the time for me. What else does he have on here? House cleaner. That's a good one if you like cleaning. I personally would not want to do that for anybody. Crisis hotline, really, really cool. Obviously, you probably have to get some training on that and be comfortable doing something like that. Brand partnership. Even this is cool what he had mentioned. I don't remember the exact company, but where you sign up to house sit for somebody or pet sit for somebody in a different country in exchange for you staying at their house for free. I think that's really cool if you're open to doing that. Dancer, we talked about that. Dumpster diving. Here in the state of Georgia, unless, maybe correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think we have anything where you turn in bottles or cans to get money. I know that my family is in Massachusetts, and that's a big thing there, but I don't think that's a thing in Georgia, so it depends on your location. But all of this for, $19,000, he can probably slow down at some point, but all of this has taken him some time to build up. I love it. I'm here for it. This is what I want to see. He also called these side hustles. I wonder if he has a full-time job. Yeah, watching things like this, it makes me just want to do more. Okay, next one.
My goal for this summer is to make $10,000. I currently have 2 jobs, and I work a few different side hustles, so I'm going to bring you along with me as I try to earn that money. As of today, I'm at $984.50. So I just donated plasma, made another $80. So I have a separate Instagram account where I sell some old clothes, old shoes, and I sold 2 pairs of jeans, so I made $38. Okay, a little update on work. I left after about an hour because it was really slow, so I only made $52. I finished door dashing at $90.17, so we made $260.17 just for today. Now in grand total, we're at $1,244.67.
Nice. Love the goal of 10K for the summer. I think that's challenging but realistic based off of the things that she's doing. Serving DoorDash. What's her second job? I don't know. I think she's gonna have no problem hitting this since she's already over 1,200. Donating plasma is a big one. That's something I always bring up to my clients. This really started because I worked with somebody who, and he may be watching this video, shout out to Travis. He donates plasma as much as he can throughout the month, or at least when we work together, that's what he was doing to make some extra income. And he was bringing in, a couple hundred, few $100 each month by donating plasma as often as he could. You have to, I think it's twice a week that you can do max. And it's something that people either don't know about or they just kind of forget about it. So I like to mention that with certain clients, depending on what their goals are. I know that many people don't want to donate plasma. I understand why you wouldn't want to. That's kind of a lot on your body. If you're afraid of needles, anything like that, you just want your plasma for your body. That's completely fair. The other thing is you have to qualify for it. So I know for myself, because I have Crohn's disease and I'm on my medication, I'm not able to donate plasma, which is a bummer because I absolutely would, but I'm not able to. I'm disqualified because of my medication. So that's sometimes the case. Her other one was reselling clothes, which, yes, if you have stuff in your house, you are absolutely 100% probably sitting on cash right now. Unless you recently moved, unless you recently decluttered or sold things in your home, you probably have something in your house that you can sell. A wallet, a watch, jewelry, clothes, a bag, electronics that you have, old phones that are just sitting there collecting dust. Like all these things you could be posting on Poshmark, eBay, Facebook Marketplace, Mercari, whatever it is. I actually decluttered my closet a couple weekends ago, and I posted like, I don't know, 20 plus things for sale on Poshmark. I've already sold a couple of things, which is nice. And, you know, it's nothing crazy, but eventually they're going to sell. And if they don't sell after like 6 months, is when I go and just donate them. But yeah, it's just otherwise sitting there not doing anything. So definitely recommend that. And then she said serving. I feel like that is one of the best things that you can do to get money fast. Obviously, you have to be able to get the job and, you know, be fine with serving. But you get cash at the end of the day, and you can go and apply it toward your debt or toward your savings immediately, which is pretty cool. I know it's not easy work though. Serving kind of sucks. I used to be a server. That was my second job. I was a server at IHOP, and weekends were good. Like weekend mornings, I would make some pretty decent money. But if you're working at night on the weekdays, don't make much. It kind of sucked. Depends where you work.
This is everything I did to make $820 of fun money this week. Every single thing that I did, you can do too on the side of a 9-to-5, your own business, whatever it might be. The first thing was a UGC deal, and this was pet related for me. So it was 10 5-second shots with 4 different products. That was done over the space of an afternoon, which was super simple. This is everything I did to make $820 of fun money this week. Every single thing that I did, you can do too on the side of a 9-to-5, your own business, whatever it might be. The first thing was a UGC deal, and this was pet related for me. So it was 10 5-second shots with 4 different products. That was done over the space of an afternoon, which was super simple. Surveys this week was $320. You can do these too. They're all free to sign up and start. You can find the platforms I use in my bio. It's all free. I use Adapole and Octopus, and this Octopus one was actually spillover from last week. I just haven't cashed out. And lastly, I did an ebook design for a client. She was out of time, so I offered to do it for her for $150. I used Playground to help me with this design. We nailed it in and tied it in with our branding, put that together. I think it was about 14 pages total, and that was $150.
She has an accent, so this is probably not companies within the United States, but, you know, somebody may be watching who's in Europe or the UK. Surveys, anytime somebody mentions surveys, I'm just like, there is no way. There's no way. There was a time back in, I can't remember the year, but it was several years ago, I tried an experiment. So for the month of November, I did, what's that website? You get like coins, Swagbucks. I did Swagbucks surveys and like just did the daily activities that you do for Swagbucks. I did it every single day for the month of November that year, and I did it as like a blog post so that I could see how much money I would be making. I made like maybe $150 from that, and that was daily, like a lot of effort. So I just don't believe people when they say that they make money from surveys. I mean, y'all let me know. Adapole or whatever else she mentioned, is that legit? Do y'all make some good money from that? I saw in the comments somebody said, I hate when people post about surveys and they don't mention that they get referrals. She said, I definitely get referrals, and I also get higher paying surveys now too. Then UGC, that's user generated content. I don't know exactly where you go to find these things. I'm sure a quick Google search can help you, but I'm pretty sure that this, oh, my Google went off because of that. It detected my voice. But anyways, I'm pretty sure that you can find companies that will like send you a product, or you purchase the product and then they compensate you for that purchase, but also compensate you for giving a review of using that. So she said pet products. So it could have been like a dog toy that she gave to her dog and took a few photos of it, maybe promoted it or provided a review, or just showed her dog using that thing and got paid for it. So I don't know exactly where to find those, but possibility. It's almost like mystery shopping too. That's I would put that into there. Ebook design, that's a skill that you got to have some design or just experience with that, but makes sense. And you got to have the right people to do that for, you know? So it sounds like these are all things that she has worked on building up.
Side hustles that actually work and make you money right now. Hi, if you're new here, I'm Lauren, and I am recently starting to share about my debt. Side hustles that actually work and make you money right now. Hi, if you're new here, I'm Lauren, and I am recently starting to share about my debt payoff journey, mine and my husband's debt payoff journey, and what we are doing to dig ourselves out of this hole that we put ourselves in. And no, we are not filing bankruptcy. So I thought it would be helpful to share all the side hustles that we have done in the past and the ones we are currently doing right now to work our way out of this debt. Stay to the end because I'm going to share our biggest money maker by far. So number one is giving plasma. I know this freaks some people out. I know some people do not like needles and all of those things, but personally, I am not bothered by the needles. I have done plasma in the past and made around $800 for that first month. And then I was bringing in like around $600 or so each following month. Number two, DoorDash and Uber. Delivering people's food for extra money is actually what I am doing because I am a stay-at-home mom and I can do this with my kids in the car. I have 2 older kids. I bring one of them along, and then I usually bring my little ones along with me, or my 13-year-old son will stay at home and watch my 7-year-old daughter, that kind of thing. But for the most part, I have both of my littles, my 7 and my 4-year-old, and then I bring along one of my older kids, and they stay in the car, lock the doors, all the things, while I run in, grab the people's food, and then drop it off at their house. I make an average of around $20 an hour. I used to make around $25 an hour, but it's averaging about $20 an hour. That's still pretty good. I've done it in like a smaller town that has a ton of restaurants, and I've been able to do Lyft and DoorDash at the same time. So if you are needing immediate cash right away and you are like a stay-at-home mom who can pull that off with their kids in the car, I highly suggest DoorDash or Uber. Another side hustle that I am doing that could be a side hustle or a full-time income, I have not turned it into a full-time income yet. I'm really starting to rev that up and ramp it up, is digital marketing. I actually have 3 different businesses that I have going on right now, and that I'm generating income from. One, I've created my own digital products and I am selling those on Etsy as well as through my Linktree. And then I also have just digital marketing, teaching other people digital marketing and that kind of thing. Last year, I made around $4,000 doing that.
This is a 9-minute video, so I was just clicking through as you might have just seen. So I may edit some of the things out that were in there, but her third one was digital marketing. And anytime I hear that, I just don't, I don't know. I don't fully understand. I think it's just them making courses. How do you start digital marketing? I just got started with a course. It's not necessary. There's all forms of digital marketing, but 100% I think it's the best because it teaches you everything you need to know to set up your store, market yourself. The best part is you can resell the courses and make 90% commissions. I really just think this is a pyramid scheme. That's what I've gotten. The first time I heard digital marketing was at some point last year on TikTok. And it's like, oh, you buy this course. So buy this course on digital marketing and then you get full rights to it. So you can then sell that course. And like, I don't get it. Don't recommend that. So that's my thoughts on this. But she did mention the plasma and the Uber Eats. So yeah.
Rent is due again, and because of my morals, I will not be out here selling feet pics. So side hustle with me as a broke 30-year-old girl who needs to make her rent in 5 days. Here is my first order. I normally would not have taken this order. Gotta wait for them to open the Lego case. I told the lady, excuse me, and she said, oh, you're okay, sir. Sir! And that's the order. Always complaining that I can't lose weight, and I wonder why. This is my second order. Really wish I didn't just see the back of my head right now. Who is gonna tell me? Do you guys think they'll invite me over for a burger? Ew, never mind, they're getting mayonnaise. I don't want to go. And here's the order. Order number 3, we are taking anything we can get today. The whole order is literally shopping for a man's clothing. I'm about to model these for Homeboy. Getting some photos. And we got this shirt. Lucky Charms, no, you get Magic Treasures. Fruit Loops, you get Fruit Spins. Hi, buddy. Order number 4, and this is gonna put me close to my $100 goal. I need to pay more attention to what I'm accepting because what is this? Look at all that soda. Mayonnaise, corn, cheese, and squeezed butter. They're making elotes. And here's the order. Do I even have to say it? Just return your card.
It says she made $88.34 out of her $500 goal in 5 days. That's not bad. So doing some Instacart. Is that the only option these days? I think there's other options for like DoorDash shopping now, right? I think if you're fine with doing that, great. I think this is really cool, especially if you're like already, like you pick up a couple of trips or you have to go to the grocery store anyway so you can get yours and theirs. I personally would hate this. I don't enjoy doing any sort of grocery shopping or having to go to Walmart. But I think that's pretty good for like 4 trips. And, you know, if you're used to the store, you know where things are, you can probably knock it out pretty quickly. Throw in a podcast, make a day out of it. She treated herself to a little ice cream. So, yeah. Does anybody else do Instacart? Okay, this is the same girl who, you know, donated the plasma, was a server. Let's see what she looks like. This was 4 days ago. So, okay.
$10,000. I currently work 2 jobs and I have a few different side hustles. So I'm going to show you how I earn that money. As of right now, I'm at $1,244.67. And we're going to DoorDash right now, see if we can make some money there. I just got done door dashing. I only did 2 runs just because it was so slow, but I made $23. I'll head into my serving shift in about 40 minutes, but before that, I'm going to try and do some online surveys, see if I can make some money there. I actually just ended up using a link on my phone that one of you guys sent me for Eureka surveys, and I made $12 doing that. I just sold a skirt on my Instagram, so I made another $12. I just dropped off a bag I sold at the post office, so I just made $16 more. I made $107 in tips, so for the day we're at $169. So for a grand total, $1,413.92.
So same ones as before, but again, you see the serving makes her good money. It sounds like it's evening. She's like working at serving dinner.
We are in the age of multiple streams of income. Everyone has a side hustle. Everyone's starting a business. I love it. And I want to talk about all the different side hustles that I have done and how much money they've made me. Hi, I'm Shasta. I'm a 25-year-old who's trying to become the healthiest, wealthiest version of myself and move out of my parents' house. Follow along for more financial wealth building, health building tips. So I've done 3 main different side hustles, and here are the different ones that I've done. The first one is I was a high ticket closer. So basically I found a online group mentorship that I paid for, and I joined it, and I had to do a lot of classes, a lot of learning, a lot of role plays. It was a lot of work. And then they finally connected me with a client. And once I did that, I had to build my own LLC, figure out my own taxes, everything. And I basically would get meetings set for me, and I'd hop on calls and offer the deal that my client was offering. And it wasn't an hourly rate. I literally would just get money off of commission, off of things that closed. Say my best month for that, I made $3,000 one month, which was awesome, but it was very volatile. Some months I would maybe make $200, and then some months I would make 4 figures. So kind of depended. It was honestly a lot of work, but it worked well for me at the time because I was a personal trainer. So I worked really early mornings or later nights. So I'd have one half of my day to do this. Right now, as a full-time corporate girl, I would not be able to do that. The second side hustle that I've really...
Gonna pause that here. She's sales. It's sales. Sales suck. It's one of my weaknesses. It's so hard. And it's definitely a skill that needs to be developed unless you're like a natural salesperson. But if you get a job at a company as like an SDR, a sales development representative, something in sales, or even if you're at like a physical store where you are doing sales, but there's a lot of opportunity for SDRs, and a lot of people don't want to take those jobs because it is so much work, and sometimes you don't get paid that much. You will get commissions and such, and like bonus opportunities, but starting there helps you so much. Like the skills that you develop by being in sales, incredible, and will take you really far. That's something that you could get different positions after, and sales will work with you, like you trying to pitch yourself to in a job interview, or if you go on and create your own business, you become a consultant, a coach, whatever it is, and you start leading sales calls for your own stuff, and you're really passionate about it. That's something that it's going to help you to land clients. It makes you more comfortable speaking in front of people. It makes you more comfortable negotiating, whether that be for your job or, when you're going to buy a car or just negotiating something that you're purchasing. It makes you a better speaker. Did I already say that? I think I said communicating with people. But yeah, it just helps so much in many different ways. And it's something that you can take with you beyond just your sales job. So, okay, let's continue.
Loved was dog walking, dog sitting. Again, when I was a personal trainer, I had a lot of affluent, high income clients, and they all had dogs and they all traveled a lot. So I would go and dog sit for them, and it was so much fun. I think the highest earning month I had was about $2,000. One of my clients was traveling a ton and I stayed over a bunch. So that was super fun. Again, doesn't really fit my lifestyle now, but it's a great way to start a side hustle if you have some time. Maybe you're a college student and you live near a residential area. Great opportunity to start earning some extra under the table cash. The third thing that I do currently is youth coaching. I've played basketball my whole life and I played in college, so I enjoy giving back and coaching younger kids. It's so much fun. It's really fun to give back, but it's really time consuming and takes up a lot of my energy. I am just trading my time for money there, and I'm not making a lot of money. I think the most I can make each month is maybe $1,500 to $2,000, which by no means is bad. That's awesome. But for me, working a full-time corporate job, and then all week I also have to plan and keep track of who's coming to the game, parents, everything. And then I'm playing games all weekend, so I never really have a rest day. So that's been really hard for me. But yeah, now my season is over, so I'm looking for my next side hustle. But let me know in the comments if you've tried any side hustles, what's worked best for you, and how much do you make?
These are great. Good for her. Now she's looking for some more. So these were very interesting. And again, the dog sitting, like I said, sales. She is specifically selling for clients. It's for people who they don't want to do the sales. They're just, it's kind of like for me. Like if I were to hire somebody to have a call with somebody who's interested in working with me, and they were to tell them what I do and be like, yeah, you're going to get this, that. They're going to really convince them to work with me, close the sale, and then I'm the one who goes and, does the financial coaching, but they just get a commission. Like that's the whole idea behind it. Very smart. Okay, let's just do one more.
If you've been looking for a chill side hustle, I have the perfect solution for you. I just came back from my first ever set core power shift, and it was like so chill. Basically what the set team is a studio experience team, and they pay you about $18 an hour to clean like the studio. And they only require you to work 1.5 hours. If you've been looking for a chill side hustle, I have the perfect solution for you. If you've been looking for a chill side hustle, I have the perfect solution for you. I just came back from my first ever set core power shift, and it was like so chill. Basically what the set team is a studio experience team, and they pay you about $18 an hour to clean like the studio. And they only require you to work 1.5 hours a week, but you can pick up shifts as you want. So it's super low commitment and really flexible. I had my training today, but I'm going to start working the 6 p.m. evening shifts on Mondays. And I'm just doing this after my 40-hour work week. So when I come back at like 4:30 or 5 p.m., I'll get ready, and then I'll have my shift for 1.5 hours on Monday evenings. It's once a week. If I want more shifts, I can pick them up as people drop them. And I get discounts on classes. I get discounts on retail. And if I want to do a yoga teacher training, I also get discounts on that. It's also great because it's not a lot of responsibility. You're just doing some cleaning. So you're wiping down the mats, you're cleaning the toilets, the showers, you're wiping down the counters. It's super relaxed.
Nice. I've never heard of that. So this is kind of like, I'm going to go and work front desk at a yoga studio, and then I can get a discounted membership or get a free membership, that type of thing. I love this. This is so cool. So she said to look up, she replied in a comment, Studio Experience Team. And you can apply through Core Power's website. So I believe Core Power is a specific studio, if I'm thinking of that correctly. This is a great idea. So typically the instructor is not going to be the person who is cleaning after like a session. So somebody else would have to go in and do that. And if they don't have a set employee for that, looks like they're doing something like this. So very interesting. Never heard of that. Great idea. And kind of related to this in general is looking for a second job or some sort of side hustle where it benefits you. So like she is doing to get discounted classes, she's doing this. So if you are like, I really want to take a Pilates class, I want to take yoga, or I want to use an infrared sauna or something like that, go to those places and see if there is front desk opportunity, if you can work a few hours per week, if you can work an early morning shift, if you can work a later shift. And then you can, instead of having to pay for that on a monthly basis, you get your membership for free, plus you're getting paid part-time for your job. That's amazing. Or on the other hand, if you're like, I want to be able to save money on groceries, then I suggest getting a second job at like a grocery store and seeing what's out there. Even if you got to be a cashier, like great. You're going to be making extra money from that, and then you can get like a 10% discount at the grocery store. Or being a server, working at like Chipotle, for example. Do they get free bowls? Do the workers get free bowls? I don't know, but they have great benefits at Chipotle. Now, I don't know if I would want to work at Chipotle because it seems pretty stressful when the line is like out the door and it's just like, what do you want? What do you want? What? You know, but they have really great benefits. Even if you are a part-time worker, you get a 401k, you get health insurance. I think they help cover tuition. Yeah, there's a lot that is offered by Chipotle. And then I believe you get free food, or at least a discount on food. So you could just like, if you're cool with eating that on a daily basis, you get free food every day. There is a lot of opportunity out there. I'm not saying it's the easiest thing. I know that these days, even some part-time jobs or hourly wage jobs like the retail or fast food, even some of those are a bit iffy or still hard to get, but it's absolutely worth it. And if you just keep on going, and then anything that's like online, you're at home and that's how you're making your money, those things are real. These things are real, absolutely. I think some of these are, like the surveys I was talking about or digital marketing, like some of those are questionable, but the ones where they are now making hundreds or thousands of dollars per month from those things, yes, that's absolutely possible. You're going to start by making nothing. Like that's where everybody will start, of course, but with time, if you just stick to it, stay consistent, and dedicated to it, you will eventually get there. And if it's something that you enjoy and you would do it for free anyway, like absolutely go for it. Those were really fun to see. I don't know about y'all, but I am feeling motivated to like try some other ways to make extra income. We all have stuff that we want to pay for, to save for, pay down debt, whatever it may be. And yeah, seeing all of these is inspiring. So comment down below if you are currently side hustling, what you are doing, or if anything in this video sparks some ideas for you and you're like, I'm gonna go try that. But otherwise, thank you all so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next one.